Francine, first of all, congratulations. You're Arizona's most remarkable woman.
Crazy. It's such an honor.
It speaks to the impact you've had to thousands of families in our state. And I was there when you were surprised. How was that experience?
The most bizarre experience. I've never actually been fully surprised. Anytime there's been a surprise I've known a little bit, I had no idea whatsoever. It was very surreal and very emotional and really exciting.
Obviously, the work that you do is born out of an unimaginable loss. You lost your son, Zachary. He died by suicide at age 16.
He did.
And within weeks of his death, you started Kid in the Corner.
Yep, exactly. I think he took his life. It was the most horrible experience. We thought we did everything right. We thought he was doing everything right. But it was really stigma for us. And between the day that he died and the day of his funeral, I did a lot of thinking. And the eulogy that I wrote was basically a call to action, right? It was, what do we do before we get to that point? What do we do before kids get to that point? How do we let them know that it's okay to take care of themselves? And how do their friends reach out to each other? And how do people at school take notice? And how do we get that message out there? And how do we? And it just started as a conversation. It really started as the eulogy and that conversation around my dining room table. And we put this program together, and the first school we went to speak at was Zachary's high school.
You had done all the right things as parents. You knew that he was struggling with depression.
Yep.
You got him help. He was in inpatient treatment.
He was.
Who was Zachary before depression?
Zachary was my third, and he was so kind. I think one of the things about him, if you'll talk to people, they'll tell you that he had a kindness that most people don't. He was the person that would welcome people to the neighborhood, especially if they had dogs. He'd be the kid that would go to Chipotle and get a buy one, get one free burrito and find somebody on the street to give it to. And he was into golf. He was a coin collector, specialty.
We're going to get to that because you've started the Penny Pledge, and I want to talk about that. But I wanted to ask you about something that I'd read, that when he got out of treatment, his friends at school and outside of school didn't really talk to him.
Right.
They didn't know what to say.
Right.
So he was further isolated by that. And I feel like adults don't know what to say. Kids don't know what to say. We think we're going to say the wrong thing.
That's right. And that's part of our program. So we go in and we talk to kids about reaching out to the kid in the corner, right? And who's the kid in the corner? We've all been the kid in the corner.
Yeah, we have.
We're all going to be the kid in the corner again, right? But if you know that somebody is struggling, saying something is better than saying nothing. And you don't have to ask about their mental health. You say, I haven't seen you in a while, hope everything's okay.
And it's still so difficult for us to talk about what's missing from the conversation.
I think what's in front of the conversation, again, is stigma, is the shame and the embarrassment. And so I feel like we as parents and kids learn how to take care of their physical health from the time our kids are born, right? We have scheduled follow-ups and we have vaccine schedules, and when they have colds, we sort of learn how to take care of them. When they have fevers, we learn how to take care of them, and we learn the signs of when to get help, right? A couple of days, fever's down, symptoms are better, all right, we're on the right path. But if our kids all of a sudden start vomiting 3 times a day and the fever doesn't go down, we're going to get help because we don't know how to take care of them. And we're conditioned to do that, but not when it comes to mental health. We're not taught from the beginning as parents or kids. We don't know the signs and symptoms. We don't know how to help them regulate, and we don't know when it's time to go get help.
And do we as a culture really have to think hard about it, because suicide is now the leading cause of death for young people, and it's getting younger, 10 to 14.
It is getting younger. Our sweet spot is in elementary school. When we started, I thought it was going to be high school. I thought we got to get to high schoolers. But dial it back, we're in 5th and 6th grade, and that is where we're having the conversations. Most kids will tell you that when they started struggling with their mental health, was in elementary school.
Tell me about the Penny Pledge.
So Zachary was a coin collector, and when he died, he died on a Tuesday, and we didn't have his funeral until Sunday. There were some things that had to happen before the funeral, and so we had days. We sat around my dining room table, and we had bowls and bowls and bowls of pennies. He had pennies sorted all over the place. And we just were sitting there picking through the ones that were the date of his birth, 2000. And one of my older son's friends took the pennies home, drilled holes in them, and then we started to wear them. And to remind us how kind he was, like to always be kind and remember Zachary. And it's since become the cornerstone of our organization. And the idea behind it is the penny pledge, pennies alone, 1 cent, I mean, they just discontinued them, right?
Yeah.
They don't mean much, one off, but collectively they add up. And the penny pledge is an individual call to action, right? It's between you and you. You know, you pledge to reach out to the kid in the corner. You pledge to take care of your own mental health, and you pledge to be a safe and caring person. That's you, 1 penny. But collectively, we can shatter the stigma. We can change the behaviors. We can educate youth and parents and community members so that this doesn't happen again. And that, I think, is why our mission is to shatter the stigma, right? We need to remove all of that so that we can take care of our mental health, that we know how to reach out, we know where the resources are.
Well, I just wanted to say, as a mother of 2 teenage boys, I want to thank you personally for what you're doing.
Thank you.
This conversation really matters.
It does. It really is about starting the conversations and making sure that we're educating the community and each other.
Well, may Zachary's memory be a blessing.
Thank you.